Hi lovelies, and welcome back to another TikTok video. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Stronald and here is Realistic Gist. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my video, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. So guys, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I find it super interesting where this young lady was actually saying that Palestine and Israel land is owned by both. That there's nothing like Israel being, sentimental and trying to take land from the Palestinian people. That all those things that we see online are just fallacy. That this land is owned by both Israel people and the Palestinian people. And when I got to her comment section, most people were agreeing to what she was saying, while others were not. And I was just able to put up a stage of a woman who actually told her that she was lying, and she gave her emphasis, she gave all like a lot of things that made her believe that this land is owned by these two parties. Guys, I'm just gonna roll the clip as well as the stitches I was able to put together, and by the end of the video I'll be leaving my own thought. So guys, if you believe what she's saying, just leave me your own thought in the comment section, because we are all here to learn. Like, I also love learning. So, and guys, don't forget that this channel does not support any form of violence. We're just here for educational purposes. So please do your girl a huge favor to share this video, leave your commentaries, subscribe if you've not done that already, and let's get into the video.
What is wrong with you savage barbarians who woke up and discovered the Middle East today? That land belongs to both Palestinians, Palestinian Arabs, and Jewish Israelis. So that land was originally ancient Canaan, and ancient Canaan was home to the Israelites and the Philistines. The Philistines lived on the south coast, but they were eventually extinct. They disappeared from archaeological record. Land then became the Kingdom of Israel in the north and the Kingdom of Judah in the south. After that, the land was subject to the rape, pillage, conquest, destruction, and devastation by every regional tribe that you can imagine. Assyrian conquest, Babylonian conquest, Roman conquest, Muslim conquest, Ottoman Empire, the British Mandate. So how did we get to where we are? Well, during the Roman conquest, there were a number of Jewish-Roman wars, and during those wars, there were approximately 1 million Jews that were killed and approximately 100,000 that were enslaved, The rest were displaced, and the enslaved Jews were taken to Rome to build the Colosseum. The purpose of the Colosseum was to celebrate the destruction of Jerusalem. After that point, the land's name was changed to Syria Palestina, And then you had multiple other invasions, and then finally the Muslim conquest, which saw a number of different caliphates vying over the land. So what happened at that point is that you had Arabs from regional tribes settling on the land. So now at this point, you have both Arabs and Jews living on this land. Then you had the Crusader period, the Ottoman period, and all these other periods until you finally get to recent modern history, So from around the 1960s, for the first time, did they ever draw a distinction between these people? Do you understand that the people that have been living on this land for thousands of years, both Arab Palestinians and Jewish Palestinians, they were all just called Palestinians. Like, there was no distinction between them. When you talk about Palestinian people, throughout history, for the most part, you're talking about Jewish people who live on the land and Arab people who live on the land who were just called Palestinians. In the 1900s, they finally gave official statehood to Palestine and Israel. So now these nations became separate. So the significant event that changed everything in modern history was the Holocaust, where millions and millions of Jews were killed, where at that point they were like, hey, seems like since the dawn of humanity, we've been murdered, enslaved, and killed. And so now it's time for us to have our own homeland and return to where we came from. Seem fair? At the exact same time, you have people living in Palestine who have been living there forever and do not want to give up their homes, and they also have the right to be free from persecution, violence, and occupation. Does that sound fair? When Palestinian Arabs tell you that's our home, they are right. When Jewish Israelis tell you that's our home, they are right. The question is that now that we are where we are, where do we go from here? Well, the best quote that I've seen on that is a person who said, if I was trying to get there, I wouldn't start from here. Regardless, now that we are where we are, if the goal of the international community is peace in the region, which it should be, okay, meaning Palestinians are free from occupation and have the right to self-determination and to live in peace and safety. And it also means that Israelis get to be free from terrorism. You, internet historians, are not advancing that region towards that goal. Westerners who have lived so comfortably for so long that they've become so detached to suffering that their humanity has been subsumed by ideology. You are so consumed by thinking critically that you've forgotten how to think humanly. These are children. These are innocent children. Do you understand what the word innocent means? Innocent literally means not culpable. Why do these children have to pay the price for the crimes or actions or otherwise of their government? Why does an innocent Israeli child have to pay the price for IDF? Why does an innocent Palestinian child have to pay the price for Hamas? How can you sit there and say, well, what did you expect? I don't know where you are headed, but I know that I don't want to go there with you, because that is sociopathic. The occupation in Palestine has been brutal, okay? Undignified, unjustified, unfair. So many have been killed and displaced, and that is not okay, and we need to bring an end to the occupation. It is possible to hold two things in your mind as true at the same time. It is possible to acknowledge that while at the same time not minimizing or justifying violence against innocent Israeli children who are not culpable or responsible for that. Start advocating for peace, for ceasefire, for removal of occupation, for end of terrorism. I don't know what it's going to take to break through your skull for me to literally beg you on my fucking knees to remember to be human, okay? I don't know what else I can do but beg you to restore humanity in your corroded, rotten brains. But if you genuinely desire peace and safety for these people, then stop the madness and speak for peace.
Palestine is honestly a very simple issue, and yet this take somehow manages to simplify it to the point that it's just not true. There are so many comments saying that this is the best take they've ever seen, and I think that's just a testament to like the fact that some of y'all just want everything to have a centrist truth. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but that's just not always the case. That land does not belong to both the Palestinians and the Jewish Israelis. First of all, Jewish Israelis is even more of a construct than any other group or nationality, but the European Jewish people who came and took over that land and are now the ruling class of Israel are not indigenous to that land. That is just a fact. I'm sorry. That land belongs to Palestinians, period. Now, are Palestinians only Muslim? No. Are there Palestinian Jews? Yes. That's a very complicated conversation, and a lot of them go by Mizrahi Jews or Arab Jews or Arab Israelis, and that's a whole other conversation. But I'm sorry, that land, this comment just completely ignores and erases the fact that this is a situation where you have settler colonialists coming in and taking land that is not theirs, and explicitly, like, they are actually saying that they are attempting to come in and take this land from other people. It is not that, it's simple, but it is not that simple. The truth of the matter is that no, this land does belong to a certain people, and those people are being driven off the land. Please don't simplify it any further.
Like, seriously, lovelies, what she was saying is just contrary to what have been said. Like, if she believed that Palestine and Israel people actually own this, like, so why is it that Palestine is always saying that, okay, you guys are on our land, you guys have to come over to take our lands and all of that, and why all this conflict if what she actually saying is the truth? But a lot of people made us to understand that this, people, this Zionists, all this, Israel people, Jewish people are the European. They came to Europe to come to this place and colonize the place. After, they must have sold out slaves. Like, after they must have sold out people, the original people living in the land to, slaves and all of this during the time. So guys, I was like, okay, is this actually true? Then I went ahead to also find this, and I realized that in 1980, Jews began purchasing land and properties across Ottoman Palestine in order to expand the collective territorial ownership of Yeshua. The large, Jewish corporation and private Jewish buyers led these efforts through multiple intermittent transactions that continued after mandatory Palestine was established in 1918. So, lovelies, the largest of these arrangements, known as the so-called purchase, resulted in the procurement of the Jez River Valley and the Bay of Hafaz by 1930s. On 1st April 1945, the British administration statistics showed that Jewish buyers had legal ownership over approximately 5.67% of the mandate total land area, while state domain was just 45%. And as a result of this, during the end of the 19th century, the creation of the Zionist movement resulted in many European Jews immigrating to Palestine. So guys, what do you now think? Do you think it is actually the Zionist people or the Jewish people in Palestine that owns this particular land that this sister was just, talking about? Or they actually came, they immigrated there and also a lot of people out, colonized people, sell them out. Then they started buying land to that is how they now occupied all these places. And they did that because maybe they felt that they owned the capitals and all of this. Like, most land purchased between the late 80s and the 90s were located in capital plain area. But in the first half of 19th century, no foreigners were allowed to purchase land in Palestine. This was official Ottoman policy until 1856. And in practical until 1867, when it came to the national operation of Zionist movement. The Ottoman Empire opposed the idea of Jewish self-rule in Palestine, fearing it might lose control of Palestine after recently having lost other territories to various European powers. So it also took issues with the Jews, as many came from Russia, which sought the empire's demise. Like, seriously, lovelies, who is now the person that owns this land? Like, who is this people that own this land? Like, guys, I don't know a lot of all this history, and I actually want to know, guys. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video? And do not forget that this channel does not support any form of violence. You think that the Palestinian and the Jewish people were supposed to share this land like in equally, or you feel that this is not supposed to be so because this particular land is actually owned by the Palestinian people? Just, show me your own thought in the comment section. And do not forget that this channel does not support any form of violence. We are just here for educational and informative purposes, guys. So leave your thought in the comment section. Subscribe if you've not done that already. Like this video, share as much as you can, because we are here to educate a lot of people so as to stop this ongoing stuff happening, guys. And I will see you lovelies when I upload my next video.